it's Valentine's Day, so we wanted to close with a little something to get your romantic evening off to a great start. One of the great love songs of all time, performed by the consummate entertainer, hard-boiled actor, outspoken radio host, smooth swinging singer, Robert Davi. Great to have you with us, Robert. This is a terrific Cole Porter song. Yeah. And Sinatra made a great record of it. You made a great record of Sinatra songs. Mm-hmm. And Frank Sinatra actually basically got you your first movie role.
Yeah, I did the first film I did with him in 1977 was Contract on Cherry Street.
Right.
I played a hitman, a Greek hitman, and that's kind of sealed my fate in film. And I've been climbing out of that hole ever since.
Right.
But no, he was a great friend, and that was the first film I had done.
And he was the first guy to see your hitman potential.
Yes. He was a big supporter, and you know.
Because you could have been Andy Hardy or whatever otherwise.
Look at this face, right? I would have been, Andy of Mayberry. Who knows what?
Right.
So.
But that was, and so you two became friends, yes. And you've loved the Sinatra songbook.
In an Italian family, Mark, there are two figures, the Pope and Sinatra.
Right.
And not necessarily in that order.
In that order, that's right.
You know what I mean? But no, I was the Great American Songbook. I mean, I studied opera as a kid.
Yeah.
Actually, in Florence with Tito Gobbi, and opera was a very early love of mine. Singing was, as well as the acting. And, at a certain point, I felt that there was when Sinatra had passed, you had the great Tony Bennett and Bublé and some great singers out there, Frank Jr., but there was something in that I felt was lacking. So a couple of years ago, Phil Ramone and I got together and produced this album at the Capitol and then put a show together.
And you actually went back and kind of retrained your voice, because you'd been acting and you'd put the singing to one side, and you kind of retrained your voice for.
Yeah, I studied. I went with a guy named Gary Katona out of Los Angeles, who Bob Cavallo, who's the chairman of Disney Music, recommended to me, and he helped me get the album together. It was Bob Cavallo, and Gary Katona is like a throwback. He has his own system, but it's a very you could do a whole show just on the vocal. There was a guy called Melocchi who taught Mario Delmonico. It was a lower larynx position of the voice.
Right.
And it's what Sinatra did, because he studied bel canto from a guy from the Metropolitan Opera. And so I was looking for someone that understood that concept and that sound. And Katona was that, and I took every day for like 3 years.
Yeah, because everyone who thinks he sings like Sinatra in the shower just gets into the shower and starts singing. And they don't realize that Frank actually studied with operatic voice teachers to become that good a popular singer.
He was the first one to bring bel canto to the popular music. He had the portamento, the fluid line, the singing on consonants. I mean, there was a lot that he was an avid, and we spoke a lot about the music and about the vocal techniques, and even in the 50s with Robert Merrill, who was a great American baritone. We did workshops with him, or Pavarotti. He was always looking for...
Wow, we've had bel canto and portamento, and they're two of my favorite tenors. I love them.
Oh, you got the great Irish tenors.
You're going to do a Cole Porter song. This song is 79 years old, and the story is that when Cole Porter, who had everything. He had a magnificent life. He was a fabulous socialite. He glided around the world. He was wealthy. He had everything. And one day in 1938, he had a terrible horse accident. He was out riding. He had an accident. The horse rolled on him and crushed his legs. And as he lay there waiting for someone to find him in the woods, it is said that he wrote the lyric to this song. And none of us will know whether that is true or just one of those too good to be true anecdotes. But on Valentine's Day, this is the great romantic question whenever you meet someone. Is it just a moment of infatuation, or is it, at long last, love? Robert Davi.
an earthquake or simply a shock? Is it that good turtle soup or is it merely the mock? Is it the cocktail, this feeling of joy? Or is what I feel the real McCoy? Is it for all time or simply a lark? Is this Granada I see or only Asbury Park? Is it a fancy not worth thinking of? Or is it at long last love? Is it an earthquake or simply a shock? Is it that good turtle soup or is it merely the mock? Is it the cocktail, this feeling of joy? Or is what I feel the real McCoy? Is it for all time or simply a lark? Is this Granada I see or only Asbury Park? Is it a fancy not worth thinking of? Or is it at long? Is it at long last love? Cole Porter, hair for the band. Thank you.
Robert Davi and a Cole Porter classic. And I hope for your Valentine's dinner that it is a great, if you haven't yet found the love of your life, I hope tonight you find one that is worthy of a great song like that. Robert is going to be back with us later this month for something a little special. If you're off for your romantic candlelit dinner, I hope it's the good turtle soup and not merely the mock. Happy Valentine's Day. Hit it, Michelle.